Nikola Jokić isn't just great, he's redefining what greatness looks like. With 3 MVPs, which arguably should have been 4, he's in the same breath as the greatest to ever play. Jokić is the fastest player ever to reach 15,000 points, 7,500 rebounds, and 5,000 assists, obliterating Larry Bird's record by 90 games. And somehow he's still improving, averaging a triple-double while leading the Nuggets to another dominant season in 2025. But his game transcends stats, highlights, and even traditional basketball roles. Before Jokić became the NBA's ultimate cheat code, before the MVPs, the finals run, and the iconic lob plays, he was a second-round pick, a summer league afterthought, and an experimental power forward. Long before that, he was just a chubby kid from Sombor, Serbia, obsessed with 2 things: basketball and horse racing. If things had gone differently, he might have become a professional horse breeder instead of the best passing big man in history. Jokic's journey to stardom wasn't just unlikely, it was borderline ridiculous. He spent a couple of years hooping in Serbia under the radar, not putting up eye-popping stats overseas. He wasn't the next Luka Doncic, just a talented but slow post player with elite touch and vision. NBA scouts noticed but weren't impressed enough to consider him a top prospect. Tim Connolly, the Nuggets executive who drafted him, later called it optic bias. Jokić didn't look the part. At the 2014 NBA draft, the Nuggets selected him with the 41st pick during a Taco Bell commercial. He was a flyer pick, a gamble. When he finally arrived in the NBA, he was an anomaly, a 7-footer who played below the rim, a center who controlled the game by slowing it down, not speeding it up. He wasn't a high flyer, an elite shot blocker, or even particularly long for his position. The idea of building a defense around him felt like constructing a fortress with no walls. Michael Malone, fresh off being hired as the Nuggets head coach, didn't see an immediate solution. He started Jusuf Nurkic instead, bringing Jokić off the bench. When that didn't work, he tried playing them together. It was a disaster. But one truth emerged. Whenever Jokić was on the floor, Denver's offense clicked. By the end of his rookie season, the numbers hinted at something special. And in his second year, everything changed. Malone handed him the keys to the offense, making him the full-time starting center. The Nuggets didn't just improve, they exploded. By 2017-18, Jokić had evolved into a franchise cornerstone. The following year, he became an all-star, an all-NBA selection, and led Denver back to the playoffs. He then guided them past the Spurs in the first round, snapping a decade-long postseason series drought. Once the winning started, it didn't stop. By 2020, he had Denver in the Western Conference Finals. The next season, he made history, winning his first MVP as the lowest drafted player ever to do so. Then in 2023, he finished the job, leading Denver to its first NBA championship, while delivering an all-time great postseason run. He became the first player ever to lead the playoffs in total points, rebounds, and assists. His finals numbers were absurd: 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists per game. And now, 2 years later, he's still producing at a ridiculous level, adding another MVP to his resume. Jokić is a one-man offensive system. His skill set defies traditional basketball roles. He's a center who plays like a point guard, a post-up savant, and a deadly pick-and-roll operator. His passing vision is unparalleled. He manipulates defenses, threading passes through impossible gaps. His footwork is sharper than most guards, and his hands make elite touch look effortless. Statistically, he's one of the most dominant players in NBA history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more people see this and keeps the content coming. Who do you want to see next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more legendary NBA stories. See you in the next one.
With the deflection against Bang! Oh, Morant! Series, Morant. Oh!
From a small-town zero-star recruit to the most electrifying player in the NBA, this is the incredible journey of Ja Morant. Demetrius Jamal Morant, better known as Ja Morant, was born in the quiet town of Dalzell, South Carolina, a place with just over 2,000 residents. But Ja's dreams were much larger than the town itself. His father, T. Morant, had basketball dreams of his own. After winning a high school state championship alongside Ray Allen, T was determined to help his son achieve greatness. T hand-built a small cement basketball court in their backyard, where he pushed Ja to be great. This is where Ja fell in love with the grind. From mastering the step-back jumper to doing tire jumps with tractor tires, the two spent countless hours honing Ja's skills. Reflecting on his father's sacrifices, Ja said, "Instead of going to play basketball, he stayed to raise me. That's my motivation." But Ja faced challenges. Standing at just 5 feet 9 inches as a freshman, he didn't suit up for the varsity team until his sophomore year. He played for a small grassroots team, the South Carolina Hornets, and didn't have the backing of major shoe companies. While many top recruits were playing for elite AU teams, Ja was grinding it out with his local team. He was teammates with Zion Williamson for a season, which provided for some crazy throwback photos that almost seemed fake. Despite being under-recruited, curiosity led to Ja's discovery. At a camp run by Chandler Parsons, Murray State assistant coach James Kane stumbled upon Ja playing 3-on-3. Kane was immediately impressed and brought head coach Matt McMahon to see Ja in action. Soon after, Ja received a scholarship offer from Murray State. Ja's journey at Murray State began with hard work. He averaged 12.7 points, 6.5 assists, and 6.3 rebounds per game, earning first-team All-Ohio Valley Conference honors. His sophomore season was a breakout year. Ja averaged 24.5 points and 10 assists per game, becoming the first NCAA player to achieve such numbers. He shined in March Madness, recording a triple-double and leading the Racers to the tournament. Despite his success, doubts lingered. Questions about his ability to translate his game to the NBA followed him. But the Memphis Grizzlies saw his potential and drafted him second overall. Ja's rookie season was nothing short of spectacular. He averaged 17.8 points and 7.3 assists, winning the NBA Rookie of the Year award. In his second season, Ja led the Grizzlies to the playoffs, showcasing his ability to carry a team. He put up incredible performances, including a 35-point game against the Warriors. Though they fell in the first round, it was clear that Ja was the future of the franchise. His electrifying play style and leadership on the court made him a fan favorite. In his third season, Ja took his game to new heights, averaging over 25 points per game and earning his first All-Star selection. He was now a household name. With jaw-dropping performances, including a career-high 52 points, Ja established himself as one of the league's brightest stars. As Ja continues to rise, the question remains, what's next for this young superstar? With his work ethic and determination, the sky's the limit. Ja is not just a player. He's a role model. He understands the importance of giving back and inspiring the next generation of athletes. From a small-town dreamer to the face of the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant's journey is a testament to hard work, determination, and the belief that anything is possible. As he continues to rise, one thing is clear. The sky's the limit for Ja Morant. He's not just playing for himself. He's playing for everyone who believed in him when no one else did. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible journeys in sports. Join us as we continue to follow the rise of Ja Morant and other inspiring athletes.
Morant drives. Morant. Oh, it's good.
In 1998, when Michael Jordan won his final NBA championship, the mid-range jumper was the dominant shot in basketball. It made up 40% of all field goal attempts, while just 11% of shots came from beyond the arc. Fast forward to 2023, and the landscape has flipped. Three-pointers now make up 39% of all field goal attempts, while mid-range shots have plummeted to just 13%. This shift happened as the three-point revolution took off, largely thanks to players like Steph Curry, who changed the game with his ability to shoot from deep. Teams quickly adapted, prioritizing three-pointers and layups. As defenses became hyper-focused on guarding the perimeter, the mid-range became more open, and surprisingly, it didn't disappear. It became a skill reserved for only the most proficient and efficient players, much like the three-point shooter of the 1990s. Let's start with number 10 on our list, DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan has resisted the three-point revolution more than any other modern player. Despite constant pushes from coaches to shoot more threes, DeRozan has always been comfortable inside the arc. In fact, over the last 7 years he led the NBA in mid-range attempts 4 times. Mid-range shots account for 51% of his scoring, compared to just 9% from 3. He shoots at a 42% clip, which is impressive considering the difficulty of his shots. DeRozan's footwork, pump fakes, and ability to turn over either shoulder make him one of the toughest players to guard. At number 9 we have NBA legend Larry Bird. Though we don't have precise stats from Bird's era, we know he was a mid-range master. Bird averaged 19 field goal attempts per game, with most of them coming from inside the arc. His two-point shooting percentage was 51%, so it's safe to say many of those attempts were mid-range shots. Number 8 goes to Carmelo Anthony. Melo was known for his ability to score in a variety of ways, but his mid-range game was the heart of his offensive repertoire. His signature jump shot was deadly, especially in isolation situations. Throughout his career, Melo averaged over 7.5 mid-range shots per game, making them at a 41% rate. While some players were more efficient, Melo's consistency and volume make him a top-tier mid-range shooter. His performance in the 2013 game against Miami, where he scored 50 points, is a perfect example of his mid-range dominance. At number 7 we have Kevin Garnett. KG, known for his defense and trash-talking, was also an elite mid-range shooter. As a stretch 4, his mid-range jumper became a staple of his offensive game. Mid-range shots made up 55% of Garnett's total offense, and he shot 45% from mid-range in the playoffs. Number 6 on our list is none other than Kobe Bryant. Kobe was a master of all areas of scoring, but his mid-range game was arguably the most dangerous. His ability to create space with his footwork, combined with his pump fakes and counters, made him virtually unstoppable in the mid-range. Mid-range shots made up 44% of Kobe's offensive attempts, and he shot 41% from that range in the regular season and 42% in the playoffs. Kobe's ability to score under extreme defensive pressure makes his mid-range shooting one of the most impressive in NBA history. At number 5 is Kawhi Leonard. Leonard, known for his defense and quiet demeanor, has quietly become one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. Mid-range shots make up about 1/3 of his total attempts, and he converts them at a 46% clip. His shooting percentages in the playoffs are even higher, where he's consistently shot over 50%. During his 2019 finals run, Leonard's mid-range shooting was a huge factor in the Raptors' title victory. Number 4 goes to Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk, widely regarded as the best shooting big man in NBA history, revolutionized the game with his one-legged fadeaway jumper. Mid-range shots made up 55% of his total offensive attempts, and he shot 47% from that range. Dirk's ability to hit shots over defenders, especially with his height, made him nearly unguardable. His efficiency in the 2011 playoffs, where he shot 48% from mid-range while taking nearly 10 attempts per game, helped lead the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA championship. At number 3 we have Chris Paul. The point guard known as the Point God has been one of the best mid-range shooters for over a decade. His ability to use the pick and roll to get into his sweet spots, especially at the elbow, has made him one of the most deadly mid-range shooters of all time. Paul shoots 48% from mid-range in both the regular season and playoffs, and his performance in the 2021 finals, where he shot 60%, solidified his place as a top-tier shooter. Number 2 goes to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is known for his elite scoring ability, and his mid-range game is a huge part of his offensive arsenal. Durant has shot over 55% from mid-range in 3 seasons, a feat no other player has matched. His ability to shoot from anywhere on the floor, combined with his size, makes him one of the most unstoppable mid-range scorers ever. Durant's shooting touch and his consistency in both the regular season and playoffs put him high on this list. And finally, at number 1 we have Michael Jordan. When it comes to the mid-range game, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. While early in his career he was known for his dunking, his mid-range jumper became the focal point of his offensive game in the late 80s and early 90s. Jordan's ability to create separation with his size and athleticism allowed him to hit his patented turnaround jumper over anyone. Mid-range shots made up 65% of his scoring in his final seasons, and he made 45% of those shots. Whether it was a game winner or an open shot, Jordan's mid-range jumper was one of the most lethal weapons in basketball history. In conclusion, the mid-range jumper may have faded in prominence in today's NBA, but these players have proven that it's far from dead. They mastered the craft in different eras, and their skill in hitting shots from inside the arc has left an indelible mark on the game of basketball.